Hey guys, and welcome back to another Woodbrew video.
This week, we're raising the floor to make it all level in here, and we're also painting. Thank you HomeRight for sponsoring this week's video. You can check out all their products down in the description below. Also, little disclaimer before we get into this video, there are going to be some things that you may disagree with or agree with on the way we built this floor. The floor is not coming back out, so we appreciate criticism and definitely let people know your opinions down below and how it should be done. But just to let you know, this is the way we felt comfortable doing it. This is what works for us, and we'll keep you guys updated on how well it works or doesn't work. So now that that's out of the way, let's get started.
So our floor is significantly unlevel. This was where cows used to come in, eat, and get milked. Also, what are those? So the floor angles to one corner so they could easily wash it out. We are using our laser level to mark around the room where level is supposed to be and where our floor will come up to. Next, we are adding a moisture barrier on top of the concrete before we add our treated lumber, just to help with condensation and things like that. Now to really get started, this section used to be the closet and that floor is level, so this is going to be our reference point, and these boards will be sitting on the ground and we will just bring up the floor as we go across the room. We're also putting our joist on 16-inch centers. The first of many, we are cutting and adding in our support pieces to go in between each joist to keep them spaced out equally and keep them from bouncing. We're also doing 2 rows across the entire room. Now we are ready to add some posts that will attach to the joist and then sit on the ground to make the floor level. With the laser level, we can easily see on a tape measure where level is, and we can cut our posts accordingly. Already from one to the other, you can see how unlevel the floor really is. To help speed things up, I measured wherever the laser hit the tape measure and called it to Dylan for him to cut. So that's going to do it for day 1. In day 2, we're starting the other half of the room, doing the same thing we did the other side. After everything was done with the post on the second half, we went ahead and ran our electrical on the floor, making sure we left enough wire to pull through the floor so we can put in our electrical boxes and outlets. We decided to put 9 around the wall and 2 in the center of the room for the table saw and whatever else might go there. And now for what I know we've been waiting for. It's all finally starting to come together, and we are just so excited to have a solid surface to walk on again. We are using OSB subfloor with tongue and groove edges to make the floor stronger and so it won't start sagging over time. We for sure do have a perfect fit. With a little persuasion, some tactics worked and others didn't. That's okay though, because we got it all to work and we finally have a floor. paint time. Thanks again to HomeRight for sponsoring this week's video. We are using their Power Flow Pro 2800 paint sprayer, which had a super simple setup process, but before we get started, we gotta gear up. So now let's for real get started.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're using a masonry paint for the walls and then switching over to a patio paint for the floor to keep them durable. Also, this sprayer is super direct with the paint and we didn't have to tape off anything. Hallelujah! Yeah, see all that paint on the ground? This is what happened. If you want to see more stuff like this and behind the scenes, you should totally follow us on Instagram, link down below. And voila! I know it's a lot of white, but pretty soon it's going to be filled up with tools and you'll hardly notice it. Well, maybe a little. Anyways, we want it all white so we get good lighting bouncing off each wall and floor, and so our Insta pics will be. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week.